Summer is in the air. It is the month of May. Blessings, everybody. As you guys know, as the season starts changing, Montreal starts to turn up. And one of the, I guess, most anticipated events that we have in the summertime is Carifiesta. I am excited to have the one and only Sabrina from RAYNE Carnival, who's going to be joining us today to talk about her costumes, who's going to talk about what her vision is for Carnival in Montreal, and just sharing some of her tips and tricks in terms of what she does, why she does it, how you guys can get involved, and just what the power and the history and the meaning of Carnival really is. Stay tuned today on the Empower Hour.
I think this is deep.
Welcome to the Empower Hour. We're bringing power to the people because the people have the power. This squad's going to entertain, enlighten, and empower y'all. I'm Queen Kaya, joined by Pharaoh Hammond Freeman and Gina the Great. But before we do anything else, like always, we're going to bless this show and our kings and queens listening.
Blessed melanated rising, my people. I am so grateful to life. I'm grateful to God, our creator, and I'm grateful to our ancestors, and I'm grateful to our mother, Gaia. And I just ask that today's show, let it be uplifting, let it be entertaining, let it be educational, and let it be empowering for each and every one of our listeners. And I'm sending out that spirit of love, light, unity, strength, great health, peace, and abundance. Hotep, amen, ashe, aibabu.
Ashe, ashe.
Heyo. Whoa, guys, how you feeling, yo? I'm feeling exceptional on this side. Gina the Great, how are you? Oh, okay, maybe off mute.
That's what I said. I needed the suspense. That's what it was.
That build up.
It all. I'm pretty good, though, you know. Inga, how is yours?
Inga, you should know. It's exciting. It's exciting being back and kind of reconnecting and stepping into OFC movements. There's a lot of moving parts. OMG. A lot of moving parts. It's good. It's good. Kaya, how are you? How are things?
Yeah. So I am getting better this week. I didn't realize how much I love and needed everybody in my life until the sun came out one day and I wasn't angry anymore. And I was like, where's all my friends? And my friend called me this morning, and she's actually very seasonal also. And she called me this morning. She says, hey, I just want to let you know and remind you that you have friends. I love you. Call me sometime.
Like, that's nice.
Yes, this is what I needed.
We need to cling together. We need to realize that we're one species, one people, one body. And with that, beautiful people, let's transition and go into another break. We're going to a break, and then when we come back, we're back with Parlay with the People with the Queen Sabrina from RAYNE Carnival.
Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people, y'all.
Ah, yes, beautiful people. We are back. And like I had mentioned at the top of the show, we have the one and only RAYNE Hackett with us. She is the queen behind RAYNE Carnival. I am blessed to have her. We are all blessed to have her on the show. Her inspiration, her vision, her creativity is something that is infectious, and I'm looking forward to her infecting us all in this city. Greetings, Queen. Thank you for being with us on the Empower Hour.
Greetings. Thank you so much for having me at this time.
Okay. So, like I like to do at the beginning of our interviews, before we dive into the business, let's take a moment just to introduce you, so that so our listeners to get a better idea of who you are, your background, what you into. The floor is yours.
All right. So, my background. So I am from Guyana. All right, representing GT represent.
GT. GT massive.
Right. All right. Yeah, and when I came here, I have what can I say? I'm married, have my daughter, and always wanted to be able to do a cultural representation. And busy, busy working, building business, doing all the different things. And sometimes, our culture, the love is there, but the execution of it gets pushed on the back burner a little bit. So I really, really, really wanted to push it and really focus on it and get it done. So for me, I was always in the culture. I mean, dancing when I can, and be it poetry, and be it different types of dance, ballroom, Afro-Caribbean, like all these different things. And I always had a love and an interest in fashion.
Was there a time you danced with Westcan too? Is that
Oh,
possible?
yes, there was a
Okay.
time. There was a time. There was a time I was with Westcan. It was a great time. So that was, of course, I mean, as soon as I came to Montreal, I had to find, what my true passion is. And of course, Westcan, me, boom. That's what happened. That's me culturally.
You say so fashion has always been a part, the culture has always been a part. So now, is that what led to the vision? Is that what led to where we are right now?
The interest, yes. And also I thought that there was a need that I could have contributed to fill. Montreal is a huge city. In terms of population, we're just under half of what Toronto has, Ontario has. And comparatively, our parade was not half the size,
You're being so nice.
So nice.
You're being so nice with the words. Good.
Yeah,
there's room for improvement. Let's say that.
Right. So I did see that. I mean, I loved it. I did play mass when I first came up here, and I had fun with Hasikara.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Hasikara. They, of course, I did my white and my orange, and I did all that stuff. It was really fun. But I knew that we needed more. We needed more culturally sound representation on the road. And I didn't know I was able to do it, but I know I wanted to. And I think, once desire is there, execution can come after. So I didn't know the how, but I did have a big why.
Beautiful.
I personally appreciate what you're doing, because you're bringing the essence of what Carnival is really about back to Montreal. And we mentioned them before, but we do have to give credit where it's due. We got to give credit to Westcan, who have been our cultural ambassadors for years, for 40 plus years at this point. And their whole initiative they're doing, where Carnival is mass music. What's the third? Mass music and something else. But what is it? It's because there's the steel pan part, there's the mass making part, and then there's the dance. Okay, sorry.
You got it.
That's it. Movement.
I thought baby brain was for the moms only. I didn't know dad got it too. Okay.
Nah, it counts for the dads too. But anyway, so it is definitely they're doing their work of keeping the culture itself alive. And it's like, so they're working a lot on the theoretical and teaching people the essence of what it is behind the scenes. You now are giving us an opportunity to embark in the practical, the hands-on. This is what it means to participate in Carnival. And
absolutely,
I don't want to throw any shade, but
this is why we're related, because my mind was like, there's some shade here. I'm trying to sort out to ask a question, but go ahead.
Give 100. T-shirt bands are
not. Oh my God, you should get out of my head.
It's not the culture, guys. T-shirt bands was a almost like, what would you call it? A band-aid in between?
An afterthought?
It was just like
yes. See, in the absence of anything,
yes, that's how they
fill the void.
Yeah, you take what you get, and then when you get to realize the ease in which it can occur, and how fast it is, and how financially cheap it is to produce, it became very, very popular in this city.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm thankful. To be fair, I'm thankful for it at that time, so that people can be having a Caribbean idea that we existed. However, it's very, very damaging to the culture, and it's very misleading to those who want to know our culture.
Yeah.
There's a place
for erodes.
Yeah.
Can I use that word? I want to use that word. It erodes the fabric of the culture, and you're actually doing your own demise, right?
Correct.
It's a cheap opportunity to pay for your own demise, because when we are disconnected from our culture, we are actually disconnected from ourselves. We're disconnected from our ancestors, or to our ancestors. It's because they come through us, and we honor them. And if you don't have opportunities to do it because you have a t-shirt on, and yeah, it's nice, you can jump and chip, but there's so much more. There's more to it than that, right?
I agree with
Yes.
you. And that's one thing that I was talking to many elders about. So I'm Caribbean, so I'm talking about Caribbean elders. I mean, I'm sure maybe every other diaspora shares the same sentiment, is that, when we come to a country like Canada, we're coming here for more opportunities, better opportunities for our families, our generations. A lot of times, because we think that migration is helpful and beneficial, but a lot of times because we're so focused on that growth and that transition, a lot of times we put things on the back burner that we deem not as necessary or not as important at the time. And I think culture, unfortunately, becomes one of those things. Like being in Quebec, for example, where I am, like, I mean, the parents and the elders, they want the kids to have French, or you want them to have formal education, or you want them to have all different opportunities. And the kids, they do have that. But if the parents and adults insisted that you have to have a cultural foundation, they would have had that as well. And a lot of times it's not a priority. And so this is why, in the absence of that, I mean, of course, we know the food, we know what to eat, we know a little song here and there, we know that. But in terms of knowing, I mean, every aspect of our culture, as you said, West Canada, is doing, the math, the music, doing dance. It's very important, because if in the absence of knowing what is really correct, what ends up happening is that anyone with any cultural representation becomes gospel, becomes, the proponent of what it is. So that's why when you do ask these Caribbean children here, what's the culture? They're like, t-shirt band. That's all they know. Yes, they did add to the erosion of the culture. And I think, the elders have to, I don't want to say us elders, because, women are never old. But some of us have not done our due diligence to insist that culture has been passed down to all generations. That's what I
agree, because the culture of carnival itself has gone over many people's heads, even the people that are in the front lines doing the planning. When they used to sit down back in the days and have those meetings prior to jump up, what we call it jump up here in Montreal.
Right.
For those of y'all who know, because every place has its own name for it, but because it's such a multicultural city, they ended up calling it jump up, so that it was an umbrella for all Caribbean, all of the diaspora.
That's correct.
So they stopped doing the tale of carnival, but there's a tale of carnival that you sowed the land, that you tilled the land, that you planted seeds, that you sowed soil, that you reaped harvest, and that you celebrated what your ancestors had come and taught you how to do, and also what you reaped. And you come to carnival as to pay tribute, to say thank you. So carnival stopped being a lot of different things, because when I used to go to jump up, and they used to drag me up that hill, and they used to do it. Back then, they used to do it in Côte de Neige. First, they used to do it in Côte de Neige. Then they brought it down on St. Catherine Street on René Lévesque. St. Catherine Street, then they moved it over to René Lévesque. And then we ended up in the big park down at the end. Yeah. They stopped telling the people that you were supposed to, the bands used to give money, coins. They used to throw coins to the kids. It was to say thank you. This is how you gave back. The outfits, yes, big part of it. But we here to pay homage, to say thank you to our ancestors. And we forgot about that part. Yep. So we got to put that part into it. And that's why we know the t-shirt bands, what is y'all doing? Oh, so y'all didn't make no money this year. Y'all didn't reap no harvest this year. So y'all came out cheap.
And it's so funny you say that, because the fact of the matter is that when the t-shirt bands are out, they put, on the contrary, they make a whole lot of money. They rake in a lot, because the cost of the people is nominal, $50, $60 for a t-shirt, but the cost to produce a t-shirt, it's nothing. You know what I mean? So
now, let's not take away from the fact, playing not necessarily devil's advocate, but just giving perspective. Because yes, the t-shirt bands, they still have to pay for their trucks, and they still have to pay for their advertising and different things. But if your base cost for your product is the t-shirt and it's $10, opposed to your co-producer that is spending hundreds to produce their piece, and then having to resell it at a fraction, barely making any kind of real profit on it. We're not playing the same game, because the costume makers still have to pay for the same band, still have to pay for the same promo, still have to pay for everything. So just putting it all in context. And
it's advanced planning.
When we're talking about and where we kind of lost sight, where I see it kind of went left is because I feel that our parents unfortunately kind of drank the Kool-Aid. So things that were culturally, they actually, I remember like almost like my parents taking us away from the culture almost a little bit, because especially when they got into religion, they associated so many things with devil things, like that, like negativity, and it was unfortunate. But that's like these kind of roots, like these cultural roots, like the drums and the costumes and the different things. That's our cultural roots, where they had no right of stripping us from those kind of things. That's really, it's like they thought they were doing the right thing by making us Canadianized and trying to get us to conform to
fit in and to adjust and to be successful.
That's it. It was. I don't think it was their intention. They didn't. Whatever. They drank the Kool-Aid.
And some of it, I can say, some of it was intentional, because how they were treated coming here.
Yes,
it was a negative. Everything that made you who you were was negative. So now we want to spare our children and move them. So your parents actually were better. At least you had some of the flavor, and I could see the difference in our family lineage. My mom was like, nah. And maybe she got bullied. I don't know. But the point is, I know I've heard enough of those stories in not just here in New York, in other places where you're treated poorly. So now you want to save, quote unquote, your children from that. But what is happening is that they're disconnected from the culture. And going back to the culture is if you think of other nations, I remember people going to Arabic school on Saturdays and people going to Greek school. And I'm like, you got to go on extra day school because they're guarding their culture. Italian school. Like all of these people had this stuff that Chinese school, like they had to go. It wasn't a question of, do you want to, we didn't have that. Unfortunately.
So this is where, now coming full circle, no pun intended. we are bringing back, the ancestors are alive and well within us, and we're glad to be here to be vessels to bring back bring our own Sankofa. So as we now have RAYNE Carnival, who's going to be gracing the streets of Montreal July 8th. Let's talk about it, because I don't know about the rest of but our listeners right now. I'm going to tell you guys right now, as long as you're not driving, and if you are, just pull aside, pull up RAYNE Carnival on Instagram and look at these beautiful costumes. So let's talk a little bit about it. Let's talk about the inspiration. Since it's dropped, I've been getting all kind of messages. People are trying to figure out how to get involved. What's the next step? So please, let's talk a little bit about the costumes. Let's talk about the inspiration.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. So inspiration, as we know, we need color. Caribbean, it's all about the color. We have a rich canvas of different cultures that we want to bring together, different people, different experiences. And I wanted to really start off, my Montreal representation of Carnival with a lot of color, and to draw the eyes of the masses for those who are going to wear it, for those who are going to be looking on. So I came up with the concept of kaleidoscope, which is a lot of colors all together fragmented into each other. Because you know what? At this point in Montreal, where I am, there is no pure Guyanese or pure Trinidadian or pure anything culturally, and I think we all have been so influenced by everyone, and I think it truly represents who we are. It's more of an understanding that we are all going to be tolerant, and it's intercultural. So I wanted the colors to blend together the way that we blend together, and I wanted it to be beautiful, and I'm hoping and I'm thankful for everyone who appreciates and looks out for it. I mean, because again, there are many different aspects to Carnival that we'll get into in years to come, but one aspect is pretty mass, is making it look a certain way to have that appeal to the people, and the cultural essence of it is what we will continue to grow and work on. But this particular one, I really wanted it to be bright. I wanted it to be colorful. I wanted it to represent the intermingling and the cohabitation or co-mingling of cultures together. And I'm hoping that I achieve that.
You hit it. Yeah. You hit it. And I have to say, like, for those wondering, in terms of the association, the relationship between the OFCs, like, as you guys know how we get down, we're a community organization first. We're here to solve the needs of the community and support however we can. When Rain Hackett, I have to say, came to us with the inspiration, with the vision, with the inspiration that she had, it was just a perfect fit because of what the OFC stands for in terms of being a inclusive community, a multicultural community. Yes, we're here to serve the needs of the Black community, but it's important that people understand that we're inclusive, and it's like we're a mixing pot of all different races, all different cultures coming together with a common goal. And so when she came with the concept, I was like, yes, that definitely let's make this happen. Let's make this a reality. And so we're glad to be able to endorse it. We're glad to be able to partner with it, to affiliate with it, to bring this to another level, because we're excited for it. And just like you had said, we're going to be going a lot deeper in years to come. But this is it. This is time to bring back this essence of mass and carnival to Montreal. So again, I thank you for coming with the inspiration, for coming with the vision, and it's very timely, So you heeded the call of the ancestors. So thank you for picking up the phone.
I appreciate that. I mean, whatever I can do to let us understand that cultural awareness, cultural representation is also a need of our people, I'm down to be able to do that. I think people think it's cool or it's a good idea, but no, having a cultural identity is necessary. That's
and I want to just give some context too, because another just chapeau, so to speak, or hats off to you, I should say, because a lot of people see problems and just kind of sit back and complain about it.
Yeah, talk about it.
They talk about it. They bad talk people who are thinking like that seems to be the energy that they're putting out. But you are actually taking that initiative to create something, to do something, and it's like
absolutely,
it's not an easy feat. It's not easy. It's not cheap, and it impacts way more than just you. You can't wear a bunch of like you could create one costume for yourself if you want to stand in the mirror and say yes, this is carnival. But you're creating something for the masses. You're creating something for other people, and I commend that, because it's not an easy road.
I appreciate that. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're either a part of the problem or a part of the solution. There is no middle ground. You know what I mean? So yes, I did, in years past see that, I wanted a little bit more from the representation on the road. And I mean, the very common habit is, man, this parade is this. Y'all should do more. Y'all should do this. Y'all should. Who is y'all?
Who is y'all?
Anybody name y'all? You know what I mean? It's us. We have to do something, Are we always on the road watching the parade? Are we always gonna put on a costume? Are we always giving the donations to those who are putting in the work? Are we sending out the messages on our social media to share it? It's it's for us to do this, like remember back in the day, FUBU, for us by us,
right? I was gonna say, find a need, fill a need, right?
Yes,
you find a need, you fill a need, and hope that other people pick it up too, and everybody does a little bit.
Exactly. So when I saw that, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, I'm like, okay, I really don't like the full look of what I see here. I think more should be done. And I'm like, okay, I know I've never done this before, but I want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? In the absence, again, when there's nothing or very little, anything is better, right? So I said, I'm going to get this done. And I'm going to get this done. How? But I'm going to get this done. And I mean, not to be insensitive to anyone who was affected negatively during the time of the pandemic, that weird time. But that time I was used as a blessing for me, in a sense. And it's something that I've always wanted to do, but never had the time, And when the world stopped a little bit and did things differently, I took that time to execute what I knew is possible. And it started a whole momentum of creation and connections and now it's realization to the max. And now we're here. I'm blessed to have representation in Montreal. I'm blessed to be represented in Toronto. I've been in Toronto last year I was a section in one of the big bands in last year, and I'm also a section in another band in Toronto this year. So it's beautiful to be now. RAYNE CARNIVAL is in Montreal and Toronto.
That's big. That's how you do it. That's how you make a splash.
Yes, it's beautiful, and it's really for us to take full advantage. And not only, for those who don't understand our culture, not us just walking up and down on the street in underwear. That's not what it is at all.
Yeah.
It's actually, as I said, it's about a full representation of freedom and pride and excitement and culture, and understanding that even for our individuals who, this is part of their DNA and our upbringing. As you said, the ancestors are going to see that we are here carrying on this mantle and taking it to a whole nother level.
And they're going to lead, they're going to guide, they're going to empower, they're going to help to finance. This is what it's going to be. Hotep,
yes,
amen,
they will help the finance.
So I was talking, it's a perfect segue. Let's get into the business now, because now people are hearing it, they understand the value, they see it, they see the vision, they're excited because they're like, oh shoot, I didn't think anybody was doing anything in Montreal. Yes, things are going on in Montreal. We will
big
be
things
on
are going on in Montreal.
Yes. So how can people participate? How do they register? Like, I don't know if you want to talk the prices and the costs and stuff right now. If you want
Definitely, let's put it out. Let's put it all out there.
Go.
So pretty much in terms of so we have 3 costume options. Okay. There's one that's considered a backline. So when somebody says a backline costume, it's pretty much the basic that you would need to be in costume to be on the road. Okay. Not that you're in the back, you're not as important. No. You are the foundation of the section. Okay.
Yes.
So the back line, I don't know for those who can see the pictures or not. So we have a 2-piece ensemble. That's our queen in the middle. So Miss V has done an amazing job for us. So because it is Montreal, I want to make sure that the beauty was there, but a little bit of being a little conservative. So this is a high-waisted piece with a full back. I mean, I know we are blessed in the back, so things will fall out eventually, but it is a full back and it's a high-waisted piece with a separate bra. This piece is $240. All right, for this. When we call these prices, let me put it out there real quick. The price, yes, it is the costume, but it also includes the fact that you will be hydrated during the course of the parade with juices and waters and these kind of things. You will also have a meal at the end of the parade. You will also be having exposure to multiple DJs that have the music and will be playing different tunes and tracks. And you will have other things. You will have a level of security, which is called marshals, that so when you're in this beautiful, you want people to be holding you down and rubbing up on you. No, none of that. That's not cultural. That we choose what we want in that case. So that cost covers the full experience in that regard. Okay.
Wow. I have to say, I'm sorry, but you're talking and I'm getting goosebumps, because people know I'm a carnival maniac. It's just that it's unfortunate. I just took it as, okay, in my city, I just won't get the experience. Fine. So I go everywhere in the world to participate, and just the thought of being able to be in costume, be in the section, because that's what it is. People don't realize that it's not everybody that should have the right to just jump into the section and do whatever. There should be some order to it. So
correct.
Thank you for bringing it. Good.
Absolutely. I mean, you if you want to see the beauty, you got to give them space to see the beauty. So that's why we have to have it a little bit cordoned off. So, I mean, I know people want to come and jump in the band. They think it's all camaraderie and everything. And you know what? We love you guys. Yes. But when you come into that, you squash the look. You squash the you know what I mean? Just give everyone their time and their space. And I know we do have the accommodation to have it behind the revelers, because they are revelers. And you have them behind the revelers. You can still jump and enjoy the music as well. But for those who are taking the time and the respect of paying the income for the costume, they should have the chance to be able to have a beautiful display, have it there. So I mean, in this day and age of social media, they want to have their pictures on social media, they want to have it all out there. They should be afforded that opportunity. So we're basically encasing that to be able to do that. So yes, so $240 for Ms. V's backline representation of that costume. And then there's a second option of we call it the curvy option. Some people call it midline, but this one is a curvy. For those of us who are blessed with a lot more curves, and we have many in our diaspora. So this one is a $280. It's 2 pieces as well, but it's called a pantikini or a monokini, where the bottom piece does have a little bit, it goes around the neck, so it gives you more shaping and it's more forgiving with our curves again. So this is a $280 piece, and you also have all the amenities that I mentioned as well. And we are not gonna leave what we know. We know Carnival is women, but we got to have men there. Real men play mass, okay? So this is basically,
yes, we do.
It is the shorts, it is the belt, and it is the chest piece. This is allowed. You can go bare chested for those who want to show, the 6-pack, 8-pack, 10-pack, good for them.
So talk about me. Go ahead. Talk about me.
But for those gentlemen who don't want to slay and don't want to cause problems on the road, they could put on their vest, they could put on their t-shirt, and the chest piece will still be able to go over, and it'll still be fitting. And this piece, as is $200.
And is there a color? You suggest a color for? Is it gonna be uniform with the color for the t-shirt or the vest?
Yeah, so luckily, so if you look at the piece, it has many accent colors. So sometimes I would not advise them to go and to get an orange vest, because if the orange doesn't match the orange shorts exactly, then it looks kind of weird. So let's go for the accent color. How about the royal blue? You can aim for a yellow. They can aim for it, and there's actually a very small hint of green. It's in there, but I would make more suggestions.
Just white, yeah,
a white Hanes
or a white. White is always accepted as well.
Yeah.
So they can go with those colors.
Well, I started working out last week in preparation. So
you got it. Listen, do you know what a summer body is?
I'm working
the body you have when it's summer. That's it. Let's go.
Whatever your body is, because mass is very inclusive.
Yes.
Come as you are.
Yes.
All the roles.
Just take a quick positive cause just to shout out our homegirls, Kemba and Andrea from Keen Real Estate Group. Whenever you're thinking real estate, whenever you're thinking investments, whenever you're thinking about planning for the long term, think Keen Real Estate Group. They're generating wealth for generations. KeenGroup.ca. If your goal is to purchase a car and to make the process as simple as possible, just get a car broker, guys. You just get a car broker. Big shout out to our homeboy, Hamsdale Jacques, the owner of HJCourtierAuto.com. That's HJCourtierAuto.com. If you're a small to medium-sized business and you're getting started and you're ready to go to that next level, what do you need? You need a phone line and you need a website. Think Mainstream Digicom. They got all your telecommunication needs checked. MainstreamDigicom.com. You're trying to get out on the web. You're trying to understand how to navigate through ads. Check out Java Logics for all your marketing, your digital marketing. Where would we be without Preston? I don't even know. Check out Java Logics. I give thanks to Preston for what he's done for the OFC. The amount of positive reviews we've gotten from all his referrals, we're proud to stand behind his work. Check out JavaLogics.com. No, it's not just because he's my brother. It's because you can't talk hip-hop in Montreal without saying M City Solo. Guys, check out his latest project, In My Fields, available on mcitysolo.com. If it's not one of the hardest new EPs to hit Montreal, come and let me know. You already know. It's your boy, Pharaoh, bigging up mcitysolo.com. Keeping the culture alive. I gotta give thanks to West Can Folk Performing Company. For the last 40 years plus, they've been promoting our culture through song, drum, and dance, educating youth, the children, the seniors. Just check them out, westcanfolk.com.
Girl, what are you cooking?
My curry chicken.
Ooh, you're burning it.
Oh, gosh, it looks so...
It's okay, girl. You need the Curry House. They have the best Caribbean food in town. 2 locations in Montreal, West Island, and Côte-Neige. For more information, follow Caribbean Curry House, MTL. Don't forget to mention the Empower Hour for your 10% discount.
So, who placed in the order?
Me.
DeVito, WizKid, Burna Boy. Those are just some of the big names that's blessed Montreal thanks to Afrobeats Montreal. Definitely check out Afrobeats MTL for all concerts, show listings, everything that has to do with Afrobeats in the city. Check out Afrobeats MTL. One full circle. We are the Melanated Community Resource Hub and Network. What does that mean? We're here for each other.
I love it. I mean, I remember last year, I had someone who was frontline, which is, tends to be more elaborate, tends to be a little bit, skimpier. But my girl was, 4XL, and I loved it. It was, she was out and proud, and I gave her little shorts. It's like, the shorts too long. Like, don't worry about it. Just drawstring. And she, okay. And my girl 4X loved it. So let us be as big and as bold as we want to be.
That's
love
me.
it.
That's me this year. I'm in it. I'm in
Let's
it.
go. It's
Yo.
beautiful. Beautiful
Yeah,
representation. And it's
we're gonna make it a
free.
point.
Yeah,
Hmm?
we follow a lot of rules, a lot of regulations, a lot of restrictions all year round. You see this one day of the year? Well, two, one in Montreal, one in Toronto. We're
Yes.
gonna let all the restrictions go.
Amen.
Yeah. I guess for our, because we do have listeners that tune in from Ontario as well. So we take a moment just to plug so that they are aware.
Or they're Montreal revelers who also go to Toronto anyway.
Right. They're
true,
carnival
too.
chasers.
That
Come
is
on,
true,
people.
too,
We
because
carnival
Let's
I
go.
don't
chasers.
know why I said that, because I was speaking to West Canada, and I think we're rolling with you. I think we're doing Montreal and Toronto.
Let's
So
go.
I think that's what's going to go down. So
Let's
let's talk
go.
about the Toronto pieces, just so for people, just to let them know what's going on.
Yes. So my sister to the far right, exactly that one that your mouse is on, that one there. So the body wear of this one is considered the backline. Remember I said the backline is the foundation of the parade.
Mhm.
So this backline, so Toronto's price point is a little bit higher, right? And the reason why that is because their experience is a little bit bigger. So they have a longer route, right? And you have a little bit more perks. So we are a part of the Epic Carnival band. It is a beautiful band. The family environment is really, really key. I love this band, to be honest with you. And it made perfect sense for RAYNE Carnival to be associated with them. So the body wear that you're seeing, the bra and the panty that you're seeing, the two-piece is the body wear for the backline. Those two pieces is $375. All right. And in this picture, you see that she's wearing some feathers. That feather is pretty much called, it's a backpack, right? Somebody was asking me, why is a backpack? It's not a bag. No, but it's a backpack. It's on your back. And so we have two different sizes of backpack. Eventually we have to go back to Montreal and show the backpack from Montreal, but we'll go back to that later. But yeah, so this backpack is an add-on for $200. So this picture as is $575.
Beautiful.
Okay. And this is for Toronto.
Okay.
So I insisted that both of my sections had to have a curvy option, because the average woman size is size 16. Who are we fooling? I don't understand these models on different runways. I don't understand what's happening. The reality is we got curves and we are loving them. So this is my curvy option for Toronto. All right. She is wearing a two-piece. So yeah, again, the pantikini that you can able to pull up and have it complementing the curves, full bra. And she's also wearing it. So the body wear as is $475. And then the addition of the backpack is $200. So this picture as is $675.
And you guys know I'm doing this on purpose, where we're describing it in full detail for you guys who are listening on the radio, because one, you can start to picture in your head, but two, as soon as you stop your car, you're going to go on RAYNE Carnival just to see exactly what we're talking about.
Yes.
And make sure when you go on there, put a like, put a comment, so we know
I appreciate it. RAYNE Carnival. Yes, I appreciate it. And I'm a very good follower. Everybody who follows me, I follow right back. So let's go.
Y'all see me over here quiet right now, but I am studying this plus size suit right now.
Listen, I got you, girl.
And I am often amazed by the outfits that I see in Toronto, in the United States, in the Caribbean for big girls. But I just feel like Montreal sometimes is just not that forward. And so to see these costumes right now, I'm like, yes.
Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, so now again, you can't, yes, carnival as women, but we gotta get men there, understanding. It was so funny that, I want to talk about this picture in particular, because we have the gentleman in his carnival costume. It is the shorts, it is the big emblem on the chest piece, and he has on his waist piece as well. His body wear, as is $300, and with the backpack on top is $200. But I want to talk about this because even down to the model, when I gave him the backpack to put on, he's like, feathers for me as a man? I'm like, yes, the feathers is not a feminine representation. The feather is, like in nature, when it comes to peacocks, how do they attract their mate? They spread those feathers. That's what they do. So I'm saying it's not a matter of being a peacock, but it's a matter of being regal. It's a matter of being vibrant. It's a matter of being proud. And I mean, there's certain boxes that are specific to men, specific to women. When it comes to carnival, that's not the case when it comes to the feathers. So this particular piece on together, it's $500, $300 for the bodywear, $200 for this particular set of feathers.
Funny, when I think feathers, I think Indian chiefs. I think
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're not hiding their feathers. They're proud of their feathers.
Absolutely. And this is the front line.
Woo!
So front line, yes. So the front line costume is for the person who, listen, you want to stand out. You want to show your colors. You want to let it rip. You want to let them know I am here and I am out to show all that I have. So the frontline body wear, which is the bra, is a wire bra, meaning it's made and you can basically contour it to your body. And a wire bra does not only have to be for the smaller chest, it can be for bigger chests as well, right? In terms of how it contours the body. And the frontline bottom, as you can see, is very, very slender.
There's not much there. Nice. Keep it going.
It's covering the main part. The main parts are covered, I can assure you, right? It's slender, but it gives a sleek look and good shaping. So this body wear, some people just take it without the feathers. This one is $510. And this particular set of feathers, it's a large backpack. It's much bigger. So this one is $450, right?
Cool.
So together, this ensemble, as shown in pictures, is $960.
Yeah.
And for those who do carnival, I said carnival chasers, or even carnival just in Toronto, they know having a frontline piece for under $1,200 is rare.
Yo, can we just talk about that just for a second? Because there's some Inga O and I were talking about, because how do I put this, just to be very frank, carnival is an expensive thing. Like when we go to Trinidad, I spent $2,500 for my costume. At Toronto, I think we spent 15. Like it wasn't like per person. So when we're talking,
my back line for Tribe was almost 12 US.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So
1,200 US.
Yeah. That's
for the
back line.
line.
And I had limited feathers, but I had some feathers, but you know what I mean? So people who know, they know that it's an expense, but it's an experience. And that's the thing that I would love people to understand is you are paying for an experience that once you actually get it and it gets into the fiber of your being, you want to do it multiple times a year.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's endurance too. Let's face it.
Yes.
Like, you have to prove that you can actually dance and chip and ramage down the road.
It's an adrenaline hit like no other.
Yeah. So I want to put an accent on that for our Montrealers, guys. Like we might as well be. It's like this is free for us. Or like in the city, the cost that we're paying, and maybe we could jump back a second because I don't think we talked about the front line for Montreal.
The feathers, exactly. The feathers.
Yeah. So, but I'm saying, yeah, guys, it's just to understand the cost of what we're paying here in Montreal is a gift. And again, Rain, I have to thank you. I have to thank you for bringing it and for creating this opportunity and at the prices that you are, because again, it does making it accessible. That's what I'm looking for. You're making it accessible for everybody to be able to participate.
Exactly. I appreciate that. I appreciate that the recognition for that, because the fact of the matter is, yes, we want to be able to, everybody, it has to be a win-win all around, because if anybody's winning and somebody's losing, it won't work,
Right.
So the win for the public is that accessibility, they can be involved and everything. And I would like to believe it's visually appealing. I appreciate that, that's the goal. It's a win for me to be able to have a vision and a dream executed and become a realization. And it's a win for the cities. It's a win for the public to know that we are here and we have cultural soundness. And this is what it is. I mean, sometimes people have a lot of negative impressions of different people of a different group that you may not understand or know. So I want them to understand that this cultural representation is not about being over-sexualized. It's not about being, inappropriate. That's not what it is. This is our culture. This is the colors. This is the energy. We can have thousands of people on the road and they have no issues. There's no need for the extra police that's there. I don't want to go off on a tangent. This is just a cultural representation of our people, and we are having fun. We're out, we're proud, and it's a blessing. So this is how I see it.
And if you don't understand it, take the time to learn it. That's the thing. If you really want to know a people, you take the time to understand why this is happening. And that's important as well.
That's
well
it.
said. So now, as we're concluding with the pieces here, so for the backpack in Montreal,
yes. So that particular piece that you see that the model was wearing, that Sammy, shout out to Sammy Soka, shout out to CZ, all the different models. The reason why that backpack is $300, and you may see it looks a little bit smaller than the other one over there, but the reason why that is the type of feathers. That's another thing we like to talk about, what feathers are, how they differ, what it is. But that representation is $300 additional to whatever the body wear of the costume is.
Can we touch on that for a little bit? Because we have some family who does creation in different parts of really the world, right?
Yeah.
Like I went with her to source feathers there's ostrich, there's these all these, and there's first rep or first line feathers, and there's other type of the intricacy that goes into this. People have to really wrap their mind around picking the jewels and picking all of these things have an expense, a cost to it that you're getting right now for such a good price, so that we can build back and know that mass is important. But there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, I mean, like for example, if you look at the costumes, right, you may say, okay, it's orange, it's yellow, it's a little bit of blue there, it's nice. Each one has about 7 different types of gems, but you don't see it when it comes together. Like even for the backpack, there's 6 different type of feathers on that backpack.
Wow.
We're like, what? Like,
we take it for granted.
You take it for granted.
You look at it, it's like, it's cute, I like it, okay, and that's that. And I mean, and I'm not saying that, okay, well, it was the choice of the designer, to do it that way. If you do less, it's not a true depiction of what it can be. It's not appealing to your senses, like, the same way the food could taste great, but if the food looks sloppy in the plate, you don't want to eat, it's the same thing. If the carnival costumes are done in a certain way that are not, people can cheap out and make it cheaper, but you get what you pay for.
But you get what you pay for.
Well said. And actually, on that note, I know within the community, we have people who would like to participate in terms of even volunteers, mass cams coming to help, to put to glue on. They're willing to sign up to get a few hot gun glue burns. That just comes with it, guys. Just get ready. You will burn yourself at least once with the glue gun. But there's people who are down. So let's put the contact info out there. So how do people participate? How do they get involved? They want to volunteer, if they want to buy costumes, what are the steps? And then we could talk about any little promos or discounts we might have.
Absolutely. So Instagram is step 1. It's at RAYNE Carnival, RAYNE Carnival. Okay. This is I check my messages often. You responded to very quickly. All right. So that's a big one. Also for email, it's similar. It's raynecarnival@gmail.com, RAYNE carnival@gmail.com. There's also a phone number that the band uses. It's 514-776-6943.
Hold on, you're gonna have to repeat that one more time.
Of course.
You're like, that's what I need. I'm not even online. I'm gonna send you a text. I'm gonna call right now.
I hear that. Yes, WhatsApp calls are fine. Regular calls.
Yeah. So let's say that number one more time.
Yeah, 514-776-6943.
Beautiful.
All right. So definitely, and then in terms of how to pay for the costumes, of course there will always be cash is king, but also there is a ticket gateway that has been created, and you will have access to that when you go to the IG page, the Instagram page, or when we do speak with each other, I can send it to you directly by text or whatever it is. That would work. And of course, as I said, we know that for Carnival, you don't stay only in your own city, so you don't have to. Montrealers, we can meet face to face. Toronto people, we can meet face to face. I go to Toronto quite often. But for everybody outside, doesn't matter. We can do it online. We can do this, and we can connect in that way.
This is going to be exciting, Queen. I am looking forward to it. This is something again that the city needs. It's like a rejuvenation. This is just the beginning. I'm proud.
And you have to do your part to have your voice heard. I mean, sorry for cutting you off, brother. I pretty much did a lot of work, and I made sure that whatever meeting there was, I attended, and we worked hard. And Montrealers, for those who are on, who spectators, I need all of you to be on the road. There's no cost to you coming and seeing if you're not going to be participating. But we really, really pushed hard as band leaders, and the word has been given to us thus far that there will be no t-shirt bands on the road this year. That's what we've been told. It's costume only.
Oh, wow.
It will be pretty. It will be, something to come see, something to bring the children to spectate, so to plant that seed for later. So it'll be a costume only band this year, costume only parade this year. That was what.
If we could use that op to actually put a call out to the promoters who are used to bringing t-shirt bands, now's the opportunity to collaborate with with the mask makers. Like bring your people out and let's have some big bands on the road. Let's combine everybody who would normally come in a t-shirt, have them up their budget a little bit. I'm sure between you guys and them, you could create a little kickback for the promoters who are bringing new people. It's guys, we're here to win and build together as a collective. We're here to win and build together as a collective.
Absolutely.
So there's no competition between us.
Absolutely. The first time you make a change, it is uncomfortable. But that doesn't mean it's going to be comfortable forever.
That's it.
You know what I mean? You feel that discomfort once, and then we're going to grow from that. But the fact of the matter is we have to grow. Whenever people come to me and ask me things or they say things, I got to bite my tongue a little bit before I respond, because someone was saying, but you pay this money for a costume from Montreal's parade, and Montreal parade is so short. I'm like, okay, so you think that your absence of being on the parade, your absence as a spectator is going to make the parade longer? You're not helping. Staying away and staying uninvolved is not helping. You're contributing to the demise of the parade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Queen.
That is
and
true.
let them know, and ultimately, and another thing too is like, yes, but Toronto, I prefer to go to Toronto. Toronto's bigger. Toronto is this, Toronto's that. I say, you know what? Small example. Put it this way. Let's say in your house, you got TVs, okay? You have a TV, your TV is 30 inches. Your neighbor got a TV is 75 inches. So are you going to move out and go live at their house because you got a better TV? Or are you going to go and say, oh, I like that. You know what? I should get one for myself. Let me see how much work I got to do to get the money to buy the bigger TV, if that's your goal, of course.
Yeah.
So if our goal is to have a bigger parade, the fact that somebody else has a bigger parade is irrelevant. We used to have Jump Up used to be far bigger than Toronto. Jump Up was the Canadian parade.
Talk about it was almost Canadian. Sorry, wait. Before Inga jumps in, before not even just the Canadian parade, a family was coming from Miami, New York, Boston. They are coming to Montreal.
Absolutely. Jump Up was the place.
This is back in the day when they would come up and have a stamp. Belvedere was the place to be. What? Belvedere was sold out.
Yeah,
sold out. Those rooms were rinkety dinkety, but they were allowed to have their essence go late into the night, and as little children were like, yay. Come on, Montreal.
That's it. So what is coming again, but coming back bigger and better.
Yeah, so guys, those other cities, they came to us. And they took the points they needed to take, and they went back to Toronto and created Caravana.
Yeah,
back to Miami and created whatever.
Yeah.
So now it's not Jump Up. Now it's Carifiesta now, and Carifiesta needs to regain its grandeur, right? And we have to do our part as participants, as spectators, as promoters, as everyone to make this the biggest, the greatest, the most extravagant, the most elaborate, the most culturally sound parade as it used to be.
Yes. And it's the heart, to bring the heart. Bring the heart. I went to a carnival. I went to a carnival in Columbus,
Ohio.
Okay. And my goodness, I thought I was late because there was one truck. I saw the last truck is what I thought, only to realize it was one truck. But when I tell you, that was it. It was one truck, and everybody was wearing whatever. But the point is, they brought the heart, and I knew it was their first one. I give them props for it.
Yes,
Lyrical was there too. I'm like, listen. At the end of the day, the heart. Bring the heart, and it will grow. Bring the heart, and it will grow. Yeah,
absolutely. We have so much to work with. We have so many people here. We need to come out strong. I would love if everybody comes out in one of my costumes. Thank you. But you know what? If that doesn't happen for whatever reason, come out, spectate, support, donate your time, donate your energy. The same handles that I mentioned earlier of RAYNE Carnival, at RAYNE Carnival on Instagram, RAYNECarnival@gmail.com, the phone number 514-776-6943. Come and volunteer. Come and learn how this stuff works. I was not an expert. I still don't consider myself an expert. As I said, I took the time of COVID and I put a lot of things to practice. I read a lot. I saw a lot. I studied a lot, and I put it into practice. Let's share. You would know something that I want to know. You know,
Yeah,
someone
Queen.
has called me, said, "Oh, that gemming, you should change the direction of the gemming." Okay, no problem. Send me a tutorial. I'll look at it. I'm open.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm always open to learn whatever you got to share. Let's go. And I'm always going to share because information shared is not lost. It takes nothing for me to share it.
Yo, Queen, you got the makings of a leader, and we're glad to
Oh.
to stand behind you, behind this movement, behind this vision. And you dropped so
Appreciate
many gems just now. As we're concluding the interview, I like for you to leave some empowering words for our listeners. I feel like you just dropped a whole bunch. This is something that you can't. It's such a deep and profound subject. It's hard to do it quick and do it justice and do it justice. But so if you could leave our listeners with some empowering words, what would those words be?
Before I give the empowering words, I did want to mention the fact that for those who want to do this carnival in Montreal and Toronto, there are some package deals. And I also wanted to mention the fact that there are promo codes. I mean, as we said, OFC, we locked arms, seeing that, being able to bring this vision out and make it a reality. It's a blessing. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much to the group to be able to do that. So OFC has their own promo code that will be there. So, when we use that promo code, we're going to check to see that y'all are paid up OFC members, just letting you know. So the OFC promo code for Montreal is very, very simple. It'll be OFCMTL, OFC Montreal. And OFC also has a Toronto code. It'll be OFCTOR Toronto. I want to make it as simple so that when you use that code, there will be an additional discount to the prices that I did mention for the different costumes. However, for those who are going to lock arms and do both parades, because we said we have carnival chasers and we have people that can take full advantage. I mean, I'm biased, of course, but honestly, the pricing, it's like the price of one costume around the place. For example, the males. If you're going to do a male costume in Montreal and Toronto with us, your total cost with the promo that I'm going to offer is going to be $420.
Wow. Hey, I know I paid more than that just to do Toronto last year.
All right, then.
Okay. All right.
So then, and for my backline queen, so that was the two separate pieces. If you're going to do the backline bodywear in Toronto, the backline bodywear in Montreal, the total will be $520. For two carnivals.
That's
right.
I know Kaya. I was like, wait, what? Hold
on, Kaya. I'm coming to you, girl, because we curvy, right? So our curvy pieces, right? So to have the curvy bodywear for Toronto and the curvy bodywear for Montreal, put it together, it's $645 for both, right?
And then you add $200 for the back piece, for the piece.
Add $200 for the back piece. I see her. I got it. Yeah. She's like, She's like, I was considering doing one, but I'm going to do two.
$200 each for each backpack, though, right?
So the Montreal one is a $300 piece. Remember, the Montreal one is the orange one. That's $300 piece, and the Toronto one is a $200 piece for the smaller one. But if you're gonna do the bigger one, it's $450. But but the feathers are different.
So if I'm gonna do both, just explain this. And if I'm gonna do both.
Yes. So both body wear is going to be $645. You want to add feathers to both. Is that correct?
Yes.
So for you, it'll be $1145.
For both. I love that.
Both with feathers. She's like,
anyways, we're calling OFC members from Miami. We're calling them from New York. We're telling them come down and
let them know it's Canadian dollars.
True.
Come up.
I know it's Canadian dollars. You guys get a double discount.
It's even better. It's Canadian dollars.
off right there.
Right? And everything. So, and for those who want to do the front line in Toronto, which is the sleek one, the slender one, and they want to match that up with the back line in Montreal. Because remember, the Montreal doesn't have that sleek one, right? So the front one in Toronto matched up with the back line in Montreal, it's going to be $640. And the front, I'm just saying it all out. I'm going to write it down, of course, on the site. You'll see the posting very soon. And the front line in Toronto with the curvy in Montreal, all right, the curvy in Montreal, it's $675. So I put everything, all different examples to make sure that it makes sense. All right. And again, we're going to go through it. We talk. I want everyone involved, and I want to do it as much as I can, as best as I can for all involved. Yeah. That's my big deal.
Queen, thank you. So as we're closing off this exceptional interview that's been fun, entertaining, enlightening.
Now, what are the words? I didn't forget.
Good. And what are your final words that you want to leave with our listeners? Our empowering words.
Absolutely. I'm going to leave mainly two It could get more, but let's say they say 2. Number 1, always aim to be a part of a solution and not harp on any problem that you see. You can be a part of the solution. Every little counts. We are phenomenal. We are strong beyond measure. Don't sell ourselves short. The problem might seem huge in front of you, but I can make a difference. Absolutely, you can. Absolutely, you can. Whatever you tell yourself becomes true. So if you tell yourself you can't, then you can't. But if you tell yourself you can, yes, you can. So apply that to anything that you want to have impact on, and it will happen for you. Okay. Number 1.
Oh, that was 1. Chuck. Yeah, yes, true. Yeah,
Number
2.
1. And number 2, when you put that work in and you put it, those who believe in God, energy, whatever you want to put it out there, it has no other option than to return to you. That energy. When you put certain things out there, it has no other option than to come back to you with that same fold. So let's be very, very careful what you put out there. It'll come back to you. No matter what, in terms of this particular project, I had no idea how it would happen, but I knew it would happen. And look at the blessings, and look at the people, look at OFC linking arms with me. Look at it's a blessing because I put it out there and the energy came back, and this is where we are today.
Queen. So this has been, for those who are tuning in as we're closing off, you have been listening to the one and only Miss Rayne Hackett, the founder, the visionary behind RAYNE Carnival, and this has been another exceptional. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. I just want to say, anybody who wants to come and meet Rayne, touch her, get a hug, May 18th, OMM.
That's true.
OFC member meetups.
Yes.
At the Curry House.
Yes.
Yay.
In Cotonou.
That's it.
Good call. Thank you for that. Thank
you.
Caribbean Curry House?
Yep.
Sorry. That's right.
Caribbean Curry House, right there on Victoria. We will have the one and only Miss Rayne Hackett and some of her pieces for people to be able to come in and see. So definitely come on out for the OFC member meetups.
Yeah, and definitely. And any questions, anytime between now and then, any questions, any requests, let me know. I will do our best to be able to accommodate accordingly.
Guys, again, so I thank you all I thank our listeners. I thank for everybody who's been supporting the Empower Hour. This has been another exceptional Parlay with the People. Peace and blessings.
Kings and queens, this was the Empower Hour with Pharaoh Freeman, Queen Kaya, and Gina the Great. We are on live every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. and broadcasting Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. on CKUT 90.3 FM. Hopefully you got your dose of entertainment, enlightenment, and empowerment. Subscribe and watch us on empowermtl.com and email us at empowermtl@gmail.com to anonymously be featured on our What's the Tea Mail segment. Stay blessed, black, and highly favored.